aspects of well-being. If you do not have the capacity to inform, and you do not have the capacity to be informed, you will be living a compromised life. And another important feature of this information revolution is the elevation of communication above transportation. We find that there are very many exercises in transportation that we undertake which actually is to communicate. One of them is this gathering. The reason why we have carried the masses of our body into this place expending energy is actually at the end of the day to communicate. But because of eons of human interaction, we have grown to enjoy seeing one another, speaking, hearing one another in situ, and so we still do these things. But fundamentally, the information revolution elevates communication above transportation to the extent that if you consider an operation like a company like Uber or Bolt, they are supposed to be the transportation company. But the fact that it is a transportation company in an information age is the reason why you do not need to carry the mass of your body to a street side and a taxi driver burning energy hoping to come across you. So what we do is we use communication to mediate that interaction. So whoever is trying to go from one place to the other is connected with the closest vehicle, and thereby the cost of energy in making that transaction is heavily reduced, reducing transportation and enhancing communication. These are the features of the information age. The sociologist, Spanish sociologist Manuel Castells, in understanding and explaining the information age, proposed the idea of the dichotomy of spaces. He talks about two types of spaces: the space of flows and the space of places. Space of place characterized by geographically locational, that is the space of place. Whereas the space of flows is the space within which information flows. The information, the type of information I talked about earlier on, that your capacity to inform and be informed becomes an index of your wealth and well-being. So, when we talk about space today, even though there is still the space of place and it's still important, which is why we have this space here, but of more importance is the space through which information flows. The space through which information flows is now a lot more important, and that is why when your data on your phone or your computer is reducing from 200 to 25 gig to 10 gig to 5 gig and it's going to 3 gig, you start panicking. Because if it goes beyond 3 gig and you cannot load, you now need somebody else's help to reload, because you do not have a space of flow and you are beginning to live a compromised life. You can't transfer money, you can't connect people, you can't call a taxi, because your space of flows has been constrained. So Manuel Castells said that information technology and the ability to use it and adapt it is the critical factor in generating and accessing wealth, power, and knowledge in our time. But he didn't stop there. True as that is, he went on to say nation of Africa, at the dawn of the information age, may be the most lasting wound inflicted on this continent by the new patterns of dependence. Now, if you consider what Manuel Castells said carefully, you will be glad that Nigeria now has a society of information science and technology. Because the careful understanding, management, curation of the space of flow is going to continue to be much, much more important than the space of place. Time there was when the richest men in the world were the landed gentry. The Sultan of Bahrain, the Queen of England, and now the King. These were the richest people in the world. But today, if you are carrying cement, noodles, petroleum products around, you cannot be the richest man in the world. So, as the Society of Information Science, you should take note that the fact that the richest man in Africa is transporting cement, noodles, petrol, it means there is at the top for those who understand the information age. And that is why I believe we should take this issue of development information very seriously. It is no more just a matter of, there was a minister, a Nigerian minister of telecommunications that once said Nigerians should stop behaving as though telephone is for the poor. That was a thinking of the time. Now, when you people in, what's that shop, that by the market where they buy a shop, you'll phone some barely literate woman in Oje, because the telephone does not ask of you the capacity to read and write, nor to speak English. You can do your business, and the woman sees that her account has been paid into, and she deploys a motorbike rider to deliver to your address. These are the dynamics of the information age, and we need to understand it very well. Otherwise, we would be living compromised lives in this information age. I said in passing that the reason why this thing works is because the telephone does not demand of you ability to read and write. Neither does it demand of you ability to speak in English or speak in some foreign legacy colonial legacy language. So I pause to say therefore that language is the fundamental foundation on which information is built. No language, no information. And that is one of the areas I would like the Society for Information Science and Technology of Nigeria to take very, very important account of. Some years ago, I was involved in a study looking at the effect of language on development. And we did a scatter plot of the Human Development Index of 71 Asian, African, and South American countries. I read them randomly according to the alphabetic order of their names. And we saw this mishmash of dots everywhere. But the moment we arrange the dots according to the language in which children in those countries are taught science and technology, there was a clear difference. Those of us who are teaching in foreign languages were down there, and those of them who are teaching in their mother tongues were up there. The Human Development Index, for the avoidance of doubt, is a vector of attributes, of factors, including infant mortality, maternal mortality, level of literacy, and many other important indices of human well-being. So, what that tells us is those children who are spoken to in their mother tongues and taught in their mother tongues have less incidences of infant mortality. Of course, it makes sense. The information is passed. And the same thing, people who engage literacy in their mother tongues are more literate than those who do so in foreign languages. If you have ever thought that southern Nigeria has a higher level of literacy than northern Nigeria, perish the thought. Because the average person you call an Almejiri can read and write in Ajami, which is the writing of Hausa in Arabic script. So, we need to look carefully about that nexus between language and information. And it is very, very important that we take this on board as the Society for Information Science and Technology builds up. I said earlier that Nigeria is described as a developing country. I took time to look at the profiles of various Nigerian universities. And out of the hundreds of universities that have been able to look at closely in Nigeria, I find that only 7 have a formal program in development studies. And yet, we are a developing nation. We are not invested in studying our circumstances. Let me make the point here that technology answers only strictly questions raised by culture and solves problems formulated by culture. Therein lies the fallacy of technology transfer. Because when you transfer a technology that answers a question raised by a culture, and your culture does not raise that question, if you had better transfer the problem so that you can claim to have solved something. And that is what causes somebody to smoke gari with fork. So therefore, the fact that we now have a society of information science and technology, the implication should be that we can now look much more closely at our culture and align our technological development to our culture. Because like I said, technology solely answers questions raised by culture and solves problems formulated by culture. What I have just said is a more nuanced way of saying necessity is the mother of invention. And it is important, therefore, for us to engage much more actively in our reality so that we can address problems that beset us. We can address problems that are natural to our environment, problems which we may not be able to avoid, rather we are supposed to sit with and solve. These are some of the fundamentals of the notion of development information. Information is a be-all for all fields. There is no field, there is no endeavor, there is no area of life in which information is not an important index. And we did not take due account of the role of information before now. But more and more and more and more, we are now seeing that information is a very, very important aspect of our wealth and well-being. And our status, even our social status now, and maybe not so much now, but as we move further into the information age, our social status, our economic situation, our various indices of wealth and well-being will continue to depend to a large extent on our capacity to inform and be informed. Therefore, as we induct members of the Society for Information Science and Technology today, my charge is that we look carefully at our circumstances, consider carefully the issue of development information. Because, like I have said, any decision made or action taken devoid of appropriate information is most likely to lead where we do not expect. It is therefore important that our development processes are supported with information. And this lies in the responsibility of the circle of the movement of information management, information science, information technology, the various aspects of the production, transmission, and use of information, including of its non-use. These are the issues that I would like to place on the table of the Society of Information Science and Technology as members are inducted today. Thank you very much.
Please, another round of applause for Doctor. And I also appreciate a standing ovation as well. A round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You know, when I was in June and the graduate days, when we go for conferences and seminars and events like this, and we're especially invited by lecturers, we always take notes. We make sure that we take notes. Next speaker says the key points, because the lecturer who invited you, even if the course does not relate to the event, your compulsory question 1 is going to be about the event. So I really do hope that we took some notes from Doctor's lecture this morning. And of course, I took some. And Doctor said, if anything in nature does not manifest randomly, it says something caused it not to be random. And I mean, I thought of that. And he also said that any decision that is not informed is bound to table. Can we complete it? Outcome. Can we complete it? Outcome. So he said that, and of course he made several analogies, the three key revolutions, the agrarian revolution, and the third one, the information revolution. And then I thought to myself that actually we were in the agrarian revolution. A scenario of value is dependent on the digits on the notes. So, and I was like, if they give you a very neat mint of 1,000 naira, and also a ruffled, raw, sellotape $100 note. I'm sure we all know the answer. All right, thank you very much, sir, for the lecture. Please another round of applause for Mapamushi. Thank you very much, ma'am. And also we have the presence and the honor of Professor Larry Haino. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So very quickly, we move to the induction proper for our associate members. And I will be calling out the names one by one. So while I call out your name, this is not, don't say present, sir. Just come out, make a line here into the society. All right, we have Okuduri Chiamaka Faith. Thank you very much. The information reaching me now is that registered members are going to get a sum of 1 million naira into their account. I hope that is correct. Alright, that's just a joke. If you know you registered, I have a long list of names here. By the time I'm done calling, I'm sure it will be like 4 p.m. So, associate members, if you registered as an associate members, please come forward one after the other and line up here while we take the induction quiz. Please a round of applause for that. And also I want to introduce our General Secretary who will be taking please focus. Associate members, and of course we can form two lines. Welcome, please come to this side. Thank you. I'm putting a smile on your face. All right, thank you very much. I would also like to invite the chairman of our society, Professor Tihamiyu. After Mr. Afamfa take the guidelines, have Professor Tihamiyu induct the member.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, inductees. So I will read out the introduction citation. You mention your names as I read. And after reading, Prof will formally confirm the introduction to the society. Is that all right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. I, your son name, first name, and other names. Solemnly swear and affirm that I will abide by the rules and regulations of the Society for Information Science and Technology of Nigeria. Sistn. I pledge to uphold the principles, duties, and values of the society as enshrined in our Constitution. I promise to be fair, upright, and forthright in the discharge of my duties as an information professional, and to uphold my allegiance to Sistn at all times in my professional career. So help me God. Rob Sam.
With the powers conferred on me by the Executive Council of Sistn, I hereby, as Chairman of Sistn, pronounce you all and regard you all as bona fide members of the Society for Information Science and Technology of Nigeria, Sistn. With this affirmation and pledge of yours, you may now inscribe or append the title of S-Sistn. No, sorry. A Sistn. It was a typographic error. After your official names, as the case may be. Thank you and congratulations to you all.
Let's go. Let's move back. Thank you very much, and congratulations. If you want to, you can also have an action with the chairman. Congratulations. Please, we can do that quickly, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. While we have the second phase of the induction for our professional members. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For our professional members, we'd like to also have you stage to register as a professional. Or if you register to be a professional member, please let's have you on stage as well. Please a round of applause for them. Please don't
With this affirmation and pledge of yours, you will now inscribe or append the title of this system after your official news. Thank you and congratulations to you all.
Thank you very much, and once again, congratulations to you. Please, we move quickly to the next item on our agenda. The next item on our agenda, which is conferment of honorary Sistn Fellowship, which we have as senior fellows and honorary Sistn Fellowship on some of our seniors in the house, and to take the first citation, I would like to have Mr. Olatunji Apapa on stage to read the citation of Professor Wilson Olabode. Thank you very much, MC.
Good afternoon once again. Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to read the citation of Professor Wilson Olabode, my teacher of blessed memory. Late Professor Wilson Olabode was born at Yara, the headquarters of the present-day Ijumu local government area in Kogi State on the 23rd of August 1942. Late Professor Ayekweku attended the St. Paul's Anglican Primary School at Yara from 1949 to 1956 and was brilliant. He passed the 1957 entrance examination into Government Provincial Secondary School in Okene and accepted the offer, thanks to the love and generosity of his elder brother, Chief T.F. Ayekweku. Late Professor Ayekweku enjoyed Northern Nigerian Government Scholarship to study geography at his first degree at the Ahmadu Bello University, ABU, but subsequently turned down the scholarship to study for his master's and PhD in Britain. He made a career switch to library studies in Kaduna, which he continued with and focused on at the University of Ibadan from 1968. He met Margaret Kikelomo Omotayo in Zaria whilst in ABU, and they got married in March 1967. They remained happily married for over 46 years until his wife suddenly transited on the 27th of October 2013. The marriage was blessed with 4 very godly, successful, and adorable grown-up children: Olushola, Yetunde, Olugbeyiga, and Eyitayo, and 11 grandchildren. He subsequently earned his doctorate degree in 1973 in the University of Ibadan, becoming the first Nigerian to do so in the emerging field of information science. And in 1983, he became a professor of information science in the University of Ibadan. He became a fellow of the British Institute of Information Scientists in 1986, the first African to be elected a fellow of the prestigious body. He served the University of Ibadan in different capacities, including Subdean Faculty of Education from August 1975 to July 1977, member University of Ibadan Senate, October 1983, head Department of Library, Archival and Information Studies, August 1983 to July 1985, and August 1998 till October 1990. Director, Africa Regional Center for Information Science, ACIS, November 1990 till October 1982 and October 1990. Professor Olabode Ayekweku was the Africa Regional Center for Information Science, ACIS project coordinator with the International Development Research Center, IDRC, Canada, and the United Nations Educational, Social and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, where for 80 years he developed and got approval of the structure and program of ACIS. He planned and coordinated all aspects of curriculum development and its assessment for the new Masters of Information Science degree program, organized academic staff training to PhD level in Canada. A round of applause for him, please. In Canada and the USA for the Pioneer Faculty of ACIS, and piloted ACIS programs through the approval of authorities of the University of Ibadan. This eliminated the establishment and takeoff of ACIS. This culminated in the establishment and takeoff of ACIS in November 1990 with Professor Olabode Ayekweku appointed as the Pioneer Director. As ACIS Director from 1990 to 1996, Professor Olabode Ayekweku ensured the effective takeoff and consolidation of the Center's 4 programs: Master of Information Science and Information Science degree, Research Consultancy and Training, Workshop and Seminars. We also ensure continued support for ACIS through the International Consultative Committee for ACIS. We liaise actively with Canada's IDRC and UNESCO, the 2 major sources of at inception, and so the centers relatively unknown programs to English-speaking West African countries, to African, international and governmental agencies, and to the fast-growing African private sector organizations. As Director of Practice, he combined the role of teaching, research, and administration of professional service. His expertise became sought after at the international level as evident by the numerous consultancies. International Development Center in Canada in 1986 and 1990. Constant United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO in 1984 and 1993. Consultant United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNEPA, Addis Ababa in 1988. Consultant Council for Development of Economic and Social Research in Africa 1993, and Consultant World Bank Global Environmental Facility 1994. Ladies and gentlemen, lead Professor Ajimobi retired from academia after 38 years of service, meritorious service to the academic community in 2005. He possessed many sterling qualities, of which there are too many to mention here today. He is married and blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Professor Ajimobi.
Thank you very much. Great citation for great personality. And we pray that may the Lord bless his family. I would like to have Mr. Tope Akimbinu to read the citation of our distinguished Professor M.A. Tiamiyu, where we have you step forward. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to read the citation of Professor M.A. Tiamiyu, my lecturer, his honor. It's the honor to see again here, sir. So, Professor Uta Wakilu Tiamiyu was born 7 May 1953 in the western region of Ghana to Nigerian parents, and had his primary and middle school education in Ghana from 1959 to 1969, finishing with a distinction in the Ghana Middle School Examination of the Western Africa Examination Council, Ghana. Ghana's emergency Adiu Conference Order of 1969 forced him to relocate to Nigeria with his family, comprising his father, his 2 co-wives, and 15 other children in December that year. Due to tough financial constraints in his family, upon relocation to Nigeria, he never attended the formal secondary school, but obtained his GCE, O, and A-level qualifications through correspondence tuition with the rapid results College of London, England in 1973 and 1976 respectively. His career, his work experience was very diverse and included as an itinerant author of personal and household items. As a factory floor worker in a matches manufacturing factory, as medical officer accounts in the Kwara State Ministry of Finance and as planning officer in the Kwara State Ministry of Economic Planning. He initially trained to be an accountant while working as clerical officer account and switched to read and obtained BSc Economics in 1976 as best student. And MSc Economics in 1984, also as best rate of the set. He was talent and a career prospect, altered for the then proposed African Regional Center for Information Science, ACIS, as the pioneer information science higher education institutions for Nigeria and country in Nigeria, Sistn in 1915, then 10 years ago. 10 years ago. He was first employed as ACIS as lecturer 2 in 1990, promoted lecturer 1 in 1993, senior lecturer in 1995, reader in 2000, and professional in 2004, professor in 2004, and retired from the University of Ibadan in 2023. He was also active director of ACIS 1999 to 2004, director of ACIS 2015 to 2018. ACIS was later renamed the Department of Data and Information Science in 2020, and he served as the pioneer head of the department from 2019 to 2022. We have undertaken research and taught and supervised 24 doctoral theses and more than 50 master's degree candidates at Nigeria 1990 to 2023, and during various sabbatical years at University of Ghana 1997 to 1999, at the University of Portugal 2006 to 2007, and at the University of Nigeria 2016 to 2017. He has consulted for, led, and participated in several national and state level economic, education, data, and other information system projects in Nigeria. He has been external examiner of doctoral degree candidates in information sciences in 12 universities in 9 African countries. He has published 5 books and authored several technical reports and more than 50 articles, mostly in international journals. He is married and has 7 children.
Not only are we recognizing him as our first honorary fellow, we're also awarding the first fellow because of all the awardees. It's the only person qualified by our constitution to begin with the award of a fellow of the society. He's been our pioneer chairman. He's been a member for 17 years, so he's more than qualified. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored and humbled to present this to my father in the profession, Professor Adisa Mutawaki Tiago. Promise said that I addressed him. The first time the son will address his father. It's for you. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir. Please, another round of applause. Okay, ably represented by, I would like to call on Professor Owangu to collect this honorary fellowship award on behalf of Professor Ishola Ajiferuke. Thank you very much, sir. Please. And I'm not just the MC for today. I also have the honor to read the citation of Professor Ishola, and I read. Professor Ishola Ajiferuke is currently the Assistant Dean Research at the Faculty of Information and Media Studies, University of Western Ontario, Canada. He obtained his PhD from the same institution in 1989 and joined the then newly established Africa Regional Center for Information Science, ACIS, University of Ibadan in 1990. As one of the 4 pioneer faculty members, in the early years of the center, the pioneer faculty members focused most of their energy on teaching courses in the master and PhD programs, as well as training information professionals through local and international workshops. Ajiferuke spent his sabbatical leave and leave of absence years from 1999 to 2000 at the Department of Information Studies, University of Botswana, and then returned to the University of Western Ontario as a member of the Faculty of Information Studies. In September 2009, he worked with Professor Tiamiyu, then the director of ACIS, to submit a proposal to the MacArthur Foundation in the United States for the institutional strengthening of the center through collaboration with FIMS at the University of Western Ontario, Canada. The proposal was successful, and in December 2009, they were awarded a 4-year grant of $101,000. The amount was partly used to fund study visits by research visits by 3 senior faculty members from the center to FIMS, purchase of books and other pedagogical material for the center, upgrade of information and communication technologies at the center, and 4, the development of curriculum for the center's Bachelor of Information Science program. In January 2015, Ajiferuke used the to visit the Department of Library and Information Science, University of Ilorin, Nigeria, for 3 months. During his visit, he taught 2 PhD courses and reviewed 9 PhD, delivered a seminar on citation analysis to the Faculty of Communication and Information Science, and another seminar on to the Department of Library and Information Science. More recently, he has organized free summer schools for information professionals from all over Africa. Specifically, in 2023, he organized the There is in summer 2024 and summer professor summer school seven lecture of library and tools in Africa. And came from Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, and Uganda. The school introduced the basic concept data science, education in library. The participants also had hands-on experience in our studio in performing big data analysis. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Professor Ishola Ajimobi.
Professor Ishola Ajimobi is ably represented here today by my teacher, Professor Williams. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Also do me the honor of bringing back on stage Mr. Tope Ajimobi to read the citation of distinguished Professor Mabawaku. Please come on stage. Distinguished Professor Mabawaku.
It's a pleasure once again to recite the state citation for Professor Mabawaku. Mabawaku was born on April 1948 in Ile-Ife, Nigeria, to Chief Jacob Oluwole Fakorede and Chief Augusta Omolara Fakorede. She began her education at Mogbo Day School in Ibadan and later moved to CAC Primary School in Akure. She attended St. Xavier's Primary School in Ado-Ekiti and Christ School for the higher school certificate. In 1966, she became the senior prefect girls at Christ School. Professor Mabawaku attended the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, in 1967, where she studied English and philosophy. She graduated in June 1970 and pursued a postgraduate diploma in librarianship at the University of Ibadan. She worked as a librarian too at the Federal Department of Agricultural Research Library from 1972 to 1974 and later pursued a master's degree in education media technology at Michigan State University. In 1976, she was employed as an assistant lecturer at the Department of Library Studies, now Department of Library, Archivals and Information Studies, University of Ibadan. She obtained a doctoral degree in 1987 and was promoted to senior lecturer in 1985, reader in 2000, and a professor with effect for Australia 2004. As an academic, Mabawaku has conducted numerous research studies, individually and jointly, with colleagues, she has published over 60 journal articles and papers in conference proceedings, supervised over 200 master's degrees projects, and graduated 11 candidates. She has served as the department and the university in various ways, including acting as the acting head of the department archival and information studies between 2007 and 2008, and head of the department from 2008 to 2011. Outside the University of Ibadan, Ajimobi has contributed significantly to other universities, serving as an external examiner in several institutions and assessing papers for professorship positions in library schools and libraries in Nigeria, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. She is a member of the African Network on Information Study at the and information. Professional associations such as Nigerian Library Association and International Federation of Library and Information Associations, IFLAG. She has served on the editorial board of many scholarly journals and has attended and presented conferences and conferences. She is and has led many countries in Africa, Europe, North America, and Middle East. Sons, 3 brothers, and 7 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Professor Iyabo.
At few. She knows congratulations. She was born on December 1950. Nigerian and education in Ikare and Ibadan, followed by secondary education at Monroe's College in Ijebu-Igbo. He attended the University of Lagos in 1970. University of Ibadan for the postgraduate diploma in librarianship program in 1975 and graduated in 1976.
He then obtained an MPhil degree in information science from City University, London in 1980 and a PhD degree in library studies from the University of Ibadan in 1980s. Professor Aina began his career as an assistant librarian and sub-librarian at the University of Ibadan Library in 1976. He later moved to the Department of Library Studies in 1978 and became a senior lecturer in 1986. In 1989, he joined the Department of Library and Information Studies at the University of Botswana, where he wanted to actually professor and professor in 1998. In year 2007, he returned to Nigeria and was appointed professor at the Department of Library and Information Technology at the Federal University of Technology, Minna. In 2008, he was appointed professor and head of the Department of Library and Information Science at the University of Ilorin. Professor Aino has served on the accreditation panel of the Nigerian University Commission, NUC, for various universities, over 100 conferences, workshops, and sessions in library and information science in Africa, Asia, Europe, and America. He is the pioneer editor-in-chief of the African Journal of Library, Archives, and Information Science, and has published over 70 journal articles in local and international journals. Professor Aino is married with 1 son, 3 daughters, and 12 grandchildren. He has also served as an editorial appointee of reputable journals in various capacities across different countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor
It is my honor in conjunction with Professor Ajimobi to present this fellowship to Professor Aino. It is well deserved. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the citation. This was Nigeria's national librarian for five something years, which the national Nigeria recorded to infrastructural development as well as manpower development. So, something the citation, and it's very, very important to show me. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir. You know where I come from, for this day, say a 3% for that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like to call on Ibile Ajuka to read the citation of Dr. Tunde Adebola.
It is with great honor I read the has also led teams in the development of an automatic diacritizer for Yoruba reading test and spell checkers for Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and Naija of the Nigerian PG. As an associate and adjunct lecturer in the University of Ibadan and Lagos, Tunde taught courses in artificial intelligence and automated reasoning and supervised several master's and doctoral tech projects in language modeling, machine translation, and automatic morphology induction. His research work in the induction of morphology of Nigerian languages offers significant improvements in the productivity of streamers and lemmatizers for use of transformers-based languages, yielding substantial impact on spell checking, information retrieval, machine translation, and many other national language processing tasks in these ages. Between 2012 and 2016, HALT-I partnered with Microsoft Corporation to localize Windows Vista, Windows 7 and Windows 8, as well as the corresponding versions of Office Suite packages for Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. It was widely spoken indigenous language in Nigeria. Nigerian academic and research African to just experience as a lecturer at the tertiary level, teaching telecommunications and AI. He has held concurrent lecturing stints at the University of Ibadan, the University of Lagos, and other Nigerian universities. In 2016, he was commissioned by Shell Nigeria Exploration and Production Company as a consultant to undertake stakeholders' consultations and needs assessments for the delivery of state-of-the-art ICT centers to some Nigerian universities. Currently, Tunde is the acting chairman of DigiTeam, the presidential committee set up to guide as a culture activist. He has conducted extensive research in Yoruba indigenous languages and actively advocates for the reaffirmation of Yoruba cultures and a culture of deep intellection. Tunde is an honorary fellow of Nigeria Land, member of West African Linguistic Society, and a Chevron scholar. A round of applause for him. He has published numerous academic papers and articles in local and international journals, covering subjects such as engineering, computer science, information studies, and musicology. He is highly sought after as a speaker at local and international conferences. I represent Dr. Tunde Ibola.
Once I present the fellowship it should be made known that this fellowship, the order of presentation is not in any particular order. These are followed, so there is really no rank. So Professor Ikameno coming last doesn't mean he's here the lowest. In fact, he's highly esteemed. Okay, so I will now go ahead with the citation proper. Professor Fabian Haite Ikameno was born on the 22nd of September 1946 to Mr. Ikameno Olamide and Mrs. Akata Okoinman Ikameno Atunomi in Eshan, Central Local Government Area of present-day Edo State. St. Mary's Catholic School, Udon, from 1955 to 1960, and St. Philomena's Catholic Modern School, Uwesan, from 1961 to 1963. Thereafter, he left home and studied at the GS College, where he GCE level certificate and on successful completion of the advanced level program in 1970. He was admitted in September that year to the BSc degree program in geology at the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. On graduation in 1973, he was mobilized to the first set of the National Youth Service Corps and posted to the then northeastern state with headquarters in Maiduguri. He returned to the University of Ife to undertake the MSc program in applied geology. His predilection for academics brought him back to the university system, this time to the University of Ibadan in 1977. And in 1978, he graduated with a Master of Library Science, MLS. He was immediately employed at Kennedy University Library, University of Ibadan, where he reached the position of principal librarian. Between 1984 beginning the university cell with work in collection development and general administration. In the beginning, in the university library, Professor Ikameno worked with zeal and commitment in academics and public service. He served as system analyst and consultant to the International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, Ibadan IIT. Department of Library and Information Science, Delta State University, Abuja, Delta State, 2004. Director of Archives for a second time, University of Ibadan from 2008 to 2009. Visiting Professor at the Foundation Head of Department, Information and Communications and University of Ibadan from July 2009 to December 2011. Professor of Contract Appointment and Head of Department of Library and Information Science, Ambrose at the University, Ekoma, Edo State, from June 2012 to 2016. I could go on and on about the notable achievement of Professor Ikameno, but for the sake of time and brevity, Professor Ikameno is happily married to Mrs. Esther Awisi Ikameno, with the children. Ladies and gentlemen, I give Professor Ikameno. Resounding round of applause for our professor.
Thank you very much. I was just saying to myself that very soon I will also be, all right, and of course, here as well. I would like to call on Professor Aina to give a word on behalf of the honorary fellows.
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very grateful to be here this afternoon, and I want to particularly thank the chairman of Sistn, Professor Ajimobi, members of this beautiful society, staff of science. This is a landmark location which we are all proud of, and as we all know, that said in Nigeria, we plan attack in the 70s and 80s. There was only putting that planning attack. Unfortunately, we still have that data. And this is why this where this society comes to information. The market it to everybody in the country, especially those in the government affairs. For example, I want us to market this society to the National Assembly. They need a lot of information. They don't appreciate it. So this society, our duty is to market the information in government quarters, the importance of having information. So on behalf of professionals and fellows, I thank the community of Sistn for finding us worthy to become to this society, to be in this society. And I as a person, I promise that market is
Thank you very much, sir. It's really an honor to have all of our honorary fellows. Thank you and congratulations once again. And of course, as we all know, the bedrock of every society, the bedrock of every gathering or a group of people requires something. So that's why I'll be calling on our General Secretary to just share some things with us.
Good afternoon once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As you are all aware, our society is a very young one, and we need to grow. And for us to grow, we need your support in kind and cash. Please do pardon my language, I'm not ashamed to say that. So, I would like to call on our distinguished guests, as God has blessed you, to please share the blessing with us. So I don't know how much you will, or to what extent, or would you need your support. So I'd like to start from my left, our distinguished lecturer. Would I have something to say, sir, Dr. Nicola, as a way of support to our association?
I will not have to say I will do.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to call on the representative of our retired professor. Maybe on his behalf, there are some minutes for us we don't know. So, Madam will tell us. Madam, please. Madam, still, we are Professor has already told us that there are goodies for us, so maybe he can expatiate on those goodies. So with that said, I'd like to call on Professor Aino to please tell us what we are to expect from him. That is sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm a retired professor. Retired 5 years ago. We are somewhat belong as someone believe in this society. So I'm going to just play a small amount of money and I give 50,000.
Thank you very much. We are most grateful and appreciative. Thank you very much. It will go a long way in funding our projects. I would also like to call on our distinguished representative of late Professor Ayo, maybe on behalf of the family. I spoke with Mr. Chalayan today, so he told me about your coming today. So any goodies for us? Thank you very much. Last but by no means the least, actually not the last, I would like to call on Professor Iyapo for what goodies our money will be given to our association for it to grow, so that we continue to do more of these and other events. Ma'am. Okay, we will do that. Thank you very much. So my God, I don't know, there are going to be people in the audience who God has elected and also bless us with those blessings. So Pastor going to give us whether an associate member, full member, God has blessed you, negatively, please use our hand and let us know what ways you can help us. Number available in due course. If I can get access to it, I will call it out. My job is in 2 parts. I'm almost done with the first part. So the second part, it is very important that I recognize those who are responsible for this occasion. There are people who have mistakenly met for several months, starting from December last year, so that what we have today will be a reality. I would like to start with Professor who is absent. I want to thank Dr. Frilola Watayo, the Dean of the Department of Data and Information Science. As the Tuasa said, we need to talk about our efforts to make this to be a reality and not leave this place. So let's like to call my teacher, Professor William Zeman, in support as the teacher. So it's part of the team, very important part of the team. So the other people, most of them are absent due to that commitment today. We found Mr. Gabriel. He was in charge of our drive for complete. Mr. Gabriel was in charge of our drive for public support for this event. So he's not available to send today. Also absent today is our Oladipo. He's been working day and night, going to bed very late in the morning what that people So I also want to thank Mr. Ajimobi, whose son we are currently absent today is in Abuja. To governor of the group is one of the reasons why we are able to try here today. Round of applause for him. Okay, we also have this scholar friend anti-glory. This is a very for those of you who are from the government, you don't believe that I'm saying that is except in the practical. It's all over the government is looking for Chelsea. Mrs. Paula Ferrer from she's the reason why this fund is available is the way it is. She's my usual meeting is not a meeting today. Last but not the least, young boy 90, Mr. Tolwe Ajimobi, we stand up for a revolution. Where are you? Okay, I'm also part of the team. So we felt that's more, like we said, so that's this is a prayer for you. A lot of applause for our peace. Thank you very much. So the reason your registration is so everything. She's an iconic. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my time to enjoy the induction. MCGs. And of course, the MC. Alright, so very quickly before I call up the next person to take the next item, please give that exclude sorry, there's one my good friend is Sistn Induction. Is the reason
represented by our FO, that's Dr. Ayo. We appreciate Osuna. Thank you, sir. Barrister Ayo Osuna. Thank you. I want to fellows, our daddies and mommies in the house. We appreciate you greatly for all that you have done in this field. You will not be tired. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir. I want to thank all the inductees, professional associates, for making it possible for your registration, for your trust and your belief in this society. And for us coming here, thank you. We all arrive safely by the power of the name of Jesus. And the last but not the least, we have some friends and some families here present. We appreciate your coming. And I say, as we have come, we will get back to our destination safely. Thank you and thank you.
For the last time for the day, let us all stand as we take the Nigerian national anthem. Let us stand as we take the Nigerian national anthem.
are checking the sound. Sound check, sound check. Sound check, sound check. Sound check. Testing. Testing. Testing.